You know how Grandma always had a fix for everything? No manuals, no Google, just good old-fashioned wisdom passed down through generations. Well, get ready, because we're diving into 10 life-easing poor man hacks that sound almost too simple to work, until they do. These aren't just random tips, they're the clever, no-cost tricks your grandma swore by, and once you try them, you'll wonder why no one told you sooner. From cleaning hacks to weird fixes that actually work, these little secrets are about to blow your mind and make your daily life a whole lot easier. Number 1, onion in your socks. This might sound like one of those old wives' tales, but onion in your socks is something grandmas have been doing for generations, and for a reason. When someone in the house started feeling run down, cold, flu, headache, Grandma would slice up a fresh onion, tuck a few rings or half moons into a pair of socks, and make you sleep with them on. The idea? The onion works overnight to draw out impurities from your body through the soles of your feet. Now, while this might not be backed by high-tech medical journals, the logic behind it has some interesting roots. Onions are naturally rich in sulfur compounds. These are the same ones that make your eyes water when you chop them. Sulfur is known for its antibacterial and antimicrobial properties. In folk remedies, it was believed that placing onions near your body, especially where blood vessels are close to the skin, like on your feet, could help reduce inflammation, fight bacteria, and even break a fever. The feet actually have a huge number of nerve endings and sweat glands, which is why some traditional methods, including reflexology and herbal foot soaks, focus on them for treatment and detox. In this hack, the idea is that your body releases toxins through your feet, while the onion's properties help neutralize them. Besides detoxification, people who've tried the onion sock method often say they wake up feeling more clear-headed, less congested, or generally just more refreshed. Some even report that it helps them sleep better during illness. And yes, it might smell a little funky, but if you're stuck with sinus pressure or body aches, a bad-smelling foot might be worth the trade-off. There's also a belief that onions can help purify the air around you. In fact, back in the 19th and early 20th centuries, people would place onions in rooms to help trap airborne illnesses like the flu. The thinking was that onions could absorb bacteria and viruses from the air, a belief that was especially common during outbreaks of infectious disease. Whether it's science or just good old-fashioned comfort, this trick costs next to nothing, requires no special tools, and can be done with something you already have in your kitchen. So if you're feeling a little off, why not give it a shot? Grandma might have been onto something. Number 2, soap under the sheets. If you've ever struggled with night leg cramps, twitchy legs, or that annoying restless leg feeling that just won't let you fall asleep, this quirky old remedy from Grandma might just be your unexpected lifesaver. The method is strangely simple. Take a regular, solid bar of soap, nothing fancy, no gels, no liquids, and tuck it under your fitted sheet, somewhere near where your legs usually rest. Then go to sleep as usual. People have been using this trick for years, even though it sounds more like a myth than a medical solution. The idea that a simple bar of soap could ease nighttime leg discomfort might raise a few eyebrows, but countless people swear it actually works. It's not something that's been heavily researched, but it's been passed down through generations like a secret recipe. Grandma believed in it wholeheartedly. She'd never go to bed without a soap bar under her mattress, especially if she'd had a long day or her legs were acting up. So, what's the theory behind it? Some folks think it has to do with magnesium. Certain types of soap, especially natural, old-style ones, may contain small traces of magnesium compounds. Since magnesium deficiency is one of the known causes of muscle cramps, the idea is that the magnesium might be absorbed through the skin during sleep. That explanation might be a bit of a stretch scientifically, but it's a common theory among fans of the hack. Another possibility is aromatherapy. Scented soaps, especially those with lavender or eucalyptus, might help relax the body. However, most versions of the hack recommend using unscented soap, which throws that theory into question. Then there's the placebo effect. Just believing that the soap will help might be enough to relax the muscles and let you sleep peacefully. And honestly, if it helps you get through the night without leg spasms, does it really matter why? What's important is that this hack is completely harmless, cheap, and easy to try. You don't have to buy any medication or make drastic lifestyle changes. Just grab a basic, solid bar of soap. Ivory or Castile work great, and slide it under the sheet. If it works for you, great. If not, you're out maybe $1 in a minute of your time. For something that's simple to potentially stop your legs from jerking all night, that's worth a shot. Number 3, vinegar for everything. Vinegar is one of those household items that seems almost too simple to be so powerful, but Grandma knew exactly what she was doing. For her, vinegar wasn't just a cooking ingredient, it was her all-in-one cleaning weapon. You could walk into her house, and you'd never smell bleach or store-bought sprays. Instead, that faint tang of vinegar in the air meant the place was being properly cleaned, naturally. Let's start with the microwave. If you've ever reheated leftovers and ended up with food splatter stuck to the inside, you'll love this trick. Grandma would fill a microwave-safe bowl with equal parts water and vinegar, then heat it on high for about 5 minutes. The steam softens the gunk inside, and with just a quick wipe, everything comes off easily. No scrubbing required. It's way less effort than harsh cleaners and way better for your lungs. Then there are stains. Whether it was coffee on the counter, wine on the rug, or an old shirt with a mystery blotch, vinegar and baking soda were the dream team. The fizzing action lifts stains while vinegar breaks down residue and deodorizes. Grandma would sprinkle some baking soda directly on the spot, pour vinegar over it, and let it sit before scrubbing it away. Simple, effective, and no toxic chemicals involved. Fruit flies invading your kitchen? This one's genius. Grab a small cup, pour in a bit of vinegar. Apple cider works best, then cover it with plastic wrap and poke a few tiny holes in the top. The flies can't resist the smell, get in, and don't get back out. No sprays, no chemicals, no hassle. Grandma had one of these traps sitting behind the fruit bowl all summer long. She even used vinegar for deodorizing laundry, cleaning floors, descaling the kettle, and wiping windows to a streak-free shine. And unlike those synthetic sprays that just mask smells, vinegar neutralizes them at the source. Got a musty towel? Soak it in vinegar and hot water. Problem gone. Pet smells on the carpet? Vinegar and water in a spray bottle takes care of it. What makes it so appealing isn't just how well it works, it's how accessible and cheap it is. One bottle can replace dozens of overpriced, overcomplicated products. And if you're trying to move toward a more natural lifestyle, vinegar is your best friend. It's Grandma's secret, but now it's yours too. Number 4, bread for broken glass. If you've ever broken a glass, you know how frustrating and dangerous the cleanup can be. Even after sweeping or vacuuming, there's always that lingering doubt. Did you really get every tiny piece? That's where this old school hack from Grandma comes in, and it's honestly genius in its simplicity. She used a slice of soft bread to pick up all the tiny shards that even the best broom might miss. Here's how it works. After you've carefully removed the big chunks of broken glass with a dustpan or brush, grab a slice of plain white bread. It has to be soft and squishy, not toasted or dry, because that texture is exactly what makes this trick work so well. You gently press the slice over the floor where the glass broke, applying light pressure. Don't rub it around, just press and lift. The soft bread conforms to the surface and grabs even the smallest, nearly invisible slivers that could easily end up in your foot. The bread acts kind of like a sponge, and the slightly moist, doughy consistency clings to fine shards. It's surprisingly effective at pulling up those micro pieces that even a vacuum might leave behind, especially in corners or uneven surfaces. After using the bread, carefully toss it into the trash. Don't try to reuse it or compost it. It's full of invisible, sharp bits that can be seriously dangerous. This hack is especially useful in kitchens, bathrooms, or any room with tile or hardwood flooring where glass can bounce or spread unpredictably. You can even use multiple slices if the mess is widespread. And here's a tip. Follow up with a damp paper towel wipe afterward if you want to be extra cautious. But honestly, most of the time, the bread does the job on its own. People love this trick because it's safe, cheap, and uses something you probably already have in your kitchen. No special tools, no expensive products, just good old-fashioned practicality. It's one of those weirdly satisfying fixies that makes you appreciate how resourceful older generations really were. They didn't overthink things. They just solved problems with what they had. And honestly, it still works like a charm today. Number 5, newspaper in the fridge. This one's all about getting rid of those weird, stale, sometimes downright nasty smells that build up in your fridge. You know what we're talking about? Something leaked, a container was left open, leftovers went rogue. Before you know it, every time you open the door, you're hit with a wave of funk. Most people run to the store for baking soda or those pricey deodorizer packs. But Grandma She had a simpler solution: newspaper. Just grab a few pages of old newspaper, don't worry about the print, it won't mess with your food, and crumple them into loose balls. Toss them onto your fridge shelves or in the drawers where the smell is worst. Let them sit there for a day or two, and that's it. The paper will start absorbing moisture and odors from the air inside the fridge, not masking them, actually soaking them up. Why does it work? Newspaper is made from porous material, and when it's crumpled, it creates more surface area that air can pass through. That means more chances to trap unwanted smells. Kind of like activated charcoal, just way cheaper and always available. And the ink used in modern newspapers is soy-based, so it's generally non-toxic. Just make sure the paper doesn't touch uncovered food directly. You can even double the effect by combining this hack with a little bowl of baking soda if you want. But honestly, the newspaper alone does a solid job. It's especially helpful in crisper drawers where produce tends to go bad faster. It also works well if your fridge has poor ventilation or doesn't circulate air efficiently, something common in older models. Swap out the newspaper every few days to keep things fresh. If your fridge really stinks, you might need to repeat the process a couple times. But over time, it'll eliminate even the stubborn smells like fish, onions, or spoiled milk. This is one of those classic hacks that feels too simple to be true, but once you try it, you'll see why Grandma relied on it. No extra cost, no special products, just good old-fashioned newspaper doing the job. Sometimes the low-tech fix is the one that sticks. Number 6, salt to stop grease fires. This hack might be one of the most important Grandma ever shared, especially if you spend a lot of time in the kitchen. Grease fires are no joke. They can start in an instant and get out of control even faster. All it takes is a little too much heat under a pan of oil, and suddenly you've got flames shooting up from your stove. And in that moment, the absolute worst thing you can do is reach for water. Throwing water on a grease fire actually makes things worse. Way worse. The water sinks below the grease, instantly turns into steam, and sends flaming oil flying everywhere. It's dangerous and can spread the fire across your kitchen in seconds. That's why Grandma had her own method: salt. Plain, everyday table salt works because it cuts off the oxygen supply that keeps the fire burning. When you toss a handful, or more, depending on the size of the fire, directly onto the flames, it creates a barrier between the air and the burning grease. Without oxygen, the flames suffocate and go out almost immediately. It's quick, it's clean, and it doesn't spread the fire like water would. The key is having the salt nearby and ready. Grandma didn't keep her salt in the pantry for this. She had a jar or container of it right on the counter. Some people even keep a small bowl of it uncovered just in case. You don't have time to dig around during a fire. You need to grab and go. Also, don't use baking soda unless you're absolutely sure it's pure. Some baking powders or mixes contain ingredients that can be dangerous when heated. Salt is simple and safe. It's also important to remember that this only works on small grease fires, like in a frying pan or small pot. If the fire spreads or doesn't go out quickly, you need to evacuate and call emergency services immediately. But for quick action in those first few seconds, salt can be a total lifesaver. So next time you're frying something up, keep salt in arm's reach. You might never need it, but if you do, you'll be glad it's there. A little preparation can make all the difference when things heat up. Number 7, potato for rust. It might sound strange at first, but using a raw potato to clean rust is one of the most surprisingly effective hacks passed down from Grandma's playbook. You probably have a few rusty items in your home right now, maybe an old pair of scissors, a neglected kitchen knife, or even a garden tool left out in the rain. Instead of tossing them out or buying expensive rust removers filled with harsh chemicals, this simple DIY solution uses something already sitting in your pantry. Here's how it works. Take a raw potato and slice it in half. The inside of the potato contains oxalic acid, a natural compound also found in professional cleaning products. This acid reacts with the iron oxide, better known as rust, on your metal tools. When you combine that with a little scrubbing power, you've got a powerful rust removal solution without any toxic fumes or complicated instructions. Now, to boost the effectiveness of the potato, you can dip the cut side into baking soda or dish soap. Baking soda adds a gentle abrasive texture that helps scrub off the loosened rust, while dish soap cuts through any grime or oil on the surface. Rub the potato firmly across the rusty spots in small circular motions. You'll start to see the rust come off after just a few minutes. If the rust is stubborn or deep set, let the potatoes sit on the surface for 15 to 30 minutes before scrubbing. The acid needs time to break down the corrosion, especially on tools that haven't seen daylight in years. Once you're done, rinse the item with water, dry it thoroughly, and if you want to prevent future rust, rub on a tiny bit of oil to protect the metal. This method isn't just about saving money or using what you have on hand, it's also safer for your skin, your pets, and the environment. Unlike chemical rust removers, potatoes won't irritate your hands or require gloves. It's a sustainable, non-toxic alternative that actually works, and the proof is in the shine of your restored tools. Number 8. Lemon for the trash can. Trash cans are one of the dirtiest places in the entire house, and if you've ever lifted the lid and caught a whiff of something awful, you know exactly what I mean. Between food scraps, liquids, packaging, and who knows what else, garbage bins can turn into a breeding ground for bacteria and stink in no time. Most people react by spraying the inside with heavy-duty chemical cleaners or tossing in an air freshener. But there's a way smarter, more natural solution that's been around for generations: lemons. Here's the hack. Cut a fresh lemon in half, sprinkle the cut side with some coarse salt, and use it like a scrubber inside your trash can. The lemon's natural acidity works like a cleaning agent, breaking down stuck-on gunk, grime, and stains. Meanwhile, the salt adds just enough abrasion to lift off stubborn messes without damaging the surface. This combo is perfect for plastic or metal bins and works especially well on older stains that regular soap might miss. But this trick goes beyond just cleaning, it deodorizes too. Lemons are full of citric acid and essential oils that have a naturally refreshing scent. After scrubbing the inside of the bin, let the lemon juice sit for a few minutes before rinsing it out. Your trash can will smell like it just came out of a spa, not like it's been holding last week's leftovers. Now here's the real magic. After the cleaning part's done, don't toss the lemon halves. Instead, place them at the bottom of the can, right underneath the trash liner. As the lemon dries out over the next few days, it'll continue to neutralize odors. It's like a natural air freshener built right into your bin. You can even poke a few holes in the liner so the citrus scent can work its way up. This method is simple, cheap, and chemical-free. You avoid harsh cleaning sprays, reduce plastic waste from air fresheners, and reuse food in a smart way. Plus, it's satisfying to do. There's just something about using real ingredients that makes chores feel less like a burden and more like a ritual. Whether you live alone or in a full household, this little lemon trick brings a touch of grandma's wisdom right into your daily routine. Try it once and you'll never go back. Number 9. Aluminum foil for ironing. Let's be honest, ironing is nobody's favorite chore. It's time-consuming, repetitive, and sometimes it feels like no matter how long you press that shirt, the wrinkles just won't give up. But here's the thing. Grandma had a hack that makes this whole process faster, easier, and more efficient. Aluminum foil under the ironing board cover. Here's how it works. Aluminum foil is a heat reflector. That means when you place it beneath the fabric you're ironing, it bounces the heat from your iron back up through the fabric. Instead of only pressing from the top, you're now getting heat from both sides, without ever flipping the garment. It's like having two irons working at the same time. You don't even need special foil, just regular kitchen-grade aluminum foil does the job perfectly. The real beauty of this hack shows up with tricky clothes. Think about button-down shirts, dresses with pleats, or even curtains. Collars, cuffs, hems. These areas usually take the longest because they need to be pressed on both sides to look sharp. But with the foil in place, you cut that time in half. You only press once, and both sides come out crisp. It's also helpful if you're dealing with thicker fabrics like denim or cotton canvas. These materials often soak up heat and need multiple passes. But the foil's reflective surface helps push the heat back up, making each press more effective and reducing the number of times you have to go over the same spot. Setting it up is easy. Just lift your ironing board cover, lay a layer of aluminum foil over the top of the board, shiny side up, then put the cover back on securely. That's it. You've turned a regular ironing board into a heat-boosting surface that makes ironing noticeably faster. Some people even notice that their clothes stay smoother longer because they're getting pressed more evenly. It's not high-tech, and it doesn't cost anything extra if you already have foil at home. But it makes a surprisingly big difference. Number 10. Cornstarch for squeaky floors. Squeaky wooden floors are one of those little annoyances that seem harmless at first, but start to drive you nuts over time. Whether it's the hallway that groans every time someone walks through at night, or the bedroom floor that wakes up your partner every morning, those creaks can really mess with your peace and quiet. And while the typical fix might involve pulling up floorboards or hiring a professional, there's a surprisingly simple and cost-effective trick your grandma probably used, and it's sitting right in your kitchen pantry. Cornstarch. Cornstarch works as a natural, dry lubricant. When sprinkled over squeaky areas and swept into the seams between boards, it settles into the tiny gaps where the wood rubs together. This rubbing is exactly what causes the squeaking in the first place. As the boards move slightly with pressure or temperature changes, the friction between them creates that telltale creak. Cornstarch reduces that friction by acting almost like a buffer, filling in the micro gaps and helping the boards slide more smoothly. To use this hack, start by identifying the noisy spots. Walk slowly across the floor, paying attention to where the squeaks happen. Then grab some cornstarch and sprinkle it generously over those areas. Don't worry about making a mess. This is one time where more is better. Once the powder's down, take a stiff bristle broom and sweep it back and forth, pressing firmly so the starch works its way down into the cracks. You won't see it anymore once it's settled, and the floor will look just like before, but sound way better. One thing to note, this isn't a permanent fix. Over time, the starch might shift or wear out, especially in high traffic areas. But the beauty of this trick is that you can reapply it anytime you need. It's non-toxic, safe around pets and kids, and won't damage the wood like some oily products might. Plus, you're not tearing up your floor or spending money on repairs. It's a quick, quiet fix that fits right into a lazy Saturday chore session.